Part two. So I left the other one ending. I had to do some things. Um, I left the other video that said, so this is manifesting your partner. Now, you write that letter, and basically I put what I wanted and what I would not accept, and what I'll live with. I think I even did that. What I'll live with and what I won't accept, because there's never going to be anybody that's 100%. And you have to decide what's worth keeping, and what's worth not keeping. And that goes with yourself too. When you're doing your self evolutions and your self healing and your self processes, what do you want to stay and what do you want to go? It's a whole situation. You cannot change other people. So they either change with you, or they evolve with you, or they don't, and you say goodbye. You can't force somebody to be something that they're absolutely not. So that is very important to keep in mind as well. So I wrote my list, and I don't remember if I burnt it or not, but I used to burn things and throw it down the toilet. Now I don't advise you throwing it down the toilet. I mean, I was in an apartment, so there wasn't a lot of other options. I didn't realize that you could dig and bury, and being that I was in Winnipeg at that time, I was alone for 4 years. And finally, I wrote my list down. And on my list, and again, it's all the things. You talk about everything, okay? You talk about everything that's important to you. Your religious beliefs, your spiritual beliefs, your, what kind of, if it's before kids, where do you want to send your kids? These are important things to you, and you need to honor those things. You need to sit back and say, okay, is this something I want to keep, or is this something I want to let go? So why I mention that is because in my list, now I was a Roman Catholic, and a Roman Catholic, but I was every Sunday I was there, and it was my life. It was my saving grace. God has always been my saving grace, and whatever term you want to call it, source, God, Jesus, ascended masters, power, whatever, God has always found a way to make damn sure that I listen, whether I want to or not. And once I started figuring out when it was him, when it was spirit talking and not my ego, because I've been guilted into a lot of things. I was guilted into the marriage, the one I left, because I thought I was the only one that could save him. I thought I could save him. Not saying he wasn't a good man. He wanted to be a good man, but he just didn't know how to love. He didn't know how. But that being said, that's not your problem to fix. People are who they are. So you have to sit back and decide, what kind of partner do you want in your life? And it doesn't matter race, none of that shit matters. It matters on the soul. It matters the soul of the person. Who do you want to spend the rest of your life with? Or what kind of partner would you like to attract? You write that down. You tell spirit, this is the kind of the relationship this is the kind of person that I would be happy with. And one of the things on my list was, I want somebody to walk spiritually with me. I didn't put I wanted a Roman Catholic. I didn't say that this is what he has to believe. I didn't say any of that shit. I said, I want someone who will walk spiritually with me. So I thought that was pretty cool, because long story short, he does. He walks spiritually with me. So, not to get off topic. So you write your list, you release it to heaven, you release it to God, and you go you go along your day, you go along your life. And remember, you don't need anybody in your life. These lists are what you want. Like, I want a beautiful, safe home, period. I have that. I wanted a beautiful, kind man. I have that. I wanted a great job that I love. I have that. It's what you want. And God is only going to give you what He's going to give you, that or something better. Okay. You have to trust it, but you have to be okay with being alone too. I thought for sure I was going to be a mom. 100% hands down. I thought for sure. And listening to my intuitive feelings this way, that way, we decided against IVF. We weren't able to have kids, and we felt and talked about everything, and blah, blah, blah. You can have the life you want to have, and you can have the partner, but you have to be okay with not getting what you want. Okay? So when you're making that list, it's this or something better. Okay? And again, you have to listen. So long story short, I gave it to God. Okay. And I was still trying to date and whatever, and it was just useless. And I remember I met Quinn. Quinn was a friend on ICQ. And I think we had even said goodbye. We basically had different desires. And I did meet Mike once. I can't remember what I said in the first video now because my brain, it's been too much time lapse. So I had met Quinn. We had hung out for friends. Again, we had different desires, so we said goodbye. I saw Mike once in that relationship, and he was actually kept saying, asked if my friend was going to put out, and he kept, so he was kind of a pig, but but it didn't feel like that. Like, he didn't feel like a pig, but he talked like he was a pig. And I remember he reached down to pet my ferret, and boom, something clicked. Anyway, so I had said goodbye to Quinn. Then I saw him. He actually popped up on my Facebook one time, and I was like, hey, how's your buddy Mike? Because I remember he was cute, and I had that nudge towards him. So I thought, okay, well, let's give him a chance. I'll look him up on ICQ. So I think Quinn hooked us up on, I think he hooked up us on ICQ. And Mike failed everything. He was an asshole. He was no short of a dick. Every question that I had, because you have to have questions for yourself, okay? And you have to trust in spirit, but you have to have these boundaries because, you don't want to go backwards. And you have to trust yourself that you know what's right and what's good for you. So anyways, I had these questions that I had to ask, and he failed all of them. All of them. I'm not even going to say this guy disgusted me. He made me so angry. I did not like him at all. So I actually blocked him on ICQ. And this is what I mean. When it's meant to be, spirit will intervene. But you have to keep moving through. And in my life, spirit has tricked the shit out of me in order to get me to say yes. For example. So I didn't like this guy. I blocked him. I said, okay, that's it. No more chances for you. You're an ass, superficial, whatever. You're a jerk. I don't like you. You're not very nice. And it got to the point where there was a mouse. It was what I blocked him for. I had a mouse in the house, and I was alone, and I was in an apartment, and it was in the closet. I caught it in the closet, and I tried to get my ferret in there. In fact, the ferret wasn't going to eat my damn mouse. He was like, forget about it. I got good food out there. So anyways, I had this mouse in there, and Mike was on Facebook, and he told me that, or ICQ, and he told me it was going to eat through my carpet and come and get me. So he was a jerk. Anyway, block button. So ICQ, if you know what ICQ is, when your computer crashes, ICQ is rebooted. It does not hold the things that you liked or blocked or didn't block or blocked. I didn't know that. So anyways, my computer crashes. I have to reboot everything. I got to restart everything. I got to whatever. So I rebooted. I also had a friend named Ed. And me and Ed used to piss around all the time and say, you ask me out. No, you ask me out. It was our thing, right? And neither one of us ever did it. So ICQ comes up and I see this name, Ed. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, oh, I'm not feeling so good today. And I said, well, ask me out. And he's like, okay, well, you want to go out? So anyways, we said, okay, yeah, we'll go out on Friday night and blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden it hit me and I'm like, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Because I was like, wow, you must really be sad because this guy, my real Ed, was a great sense of humor, blah, blah, blah. And this one, he was all sad and shit. And I was like, well, what's wrong with you? He goes, yeah, he says, I'm just a little bummed today. So anyways, once I figured out who the hell it was, I was like, son of a bitch. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody at work. I didn't tell anybody, okay? Nobody. And I threw my hand. Well, nothing's going to come from this because this guy's a prick. But I am a woman of my word. And I promised I would go, so I'll go. Whatever. God tricked me, okay? And that's okay. No harm, no foul, right? And so I also was supposed to have another job that night. And I also had to decide, okay, is it going to be this job or am I going to have a life? I need to decide this right now. Because, I don't know, when I was alone, I couldn't catch up to Bill. I couldn't catch up for nothing. I was working full time. I was exhausted. I was working actually 2 jobs. Was I working 2 jobs at that time? No, I think I was full time. And then I was going to take on another job because I just couldn't catch up. And I had to decide, okay, am I going to keep the full-time day job and have a life, or am I going to go for this other job and work my ass off and try and get somewhere? Well, I decided I'm going to have a life, and I decided to meet Mike. So we went out. He looked at me, didn't say a damn word. Not a freaking word. We go pick up a movie. We go back to my place. And I looked at him. I said, so would you like a beer? Yep. I said, what's the matter? I said, you some kind of lush? Okay, now keep in mind, all my defenses are out the window because I don't give a shit. Nothing is going to happen with this guy. This guy's a jerk. I was me, 150%. There was nothing. I'm not playing no games today. And I was like, I said, what, you some kind of lush? He goes, no. And I said, what's the matter? I said, you like what you see? I don't know. How did it go? Oh, no. So I said, you some kind of lush? He goes, no. He says, you remember everything I said on the computer? I said, yeah, I do. Very much so. He goes, can we start over? And I looked at him. I said, what? I said, you like what you see? Yeah. So anyways, now we're married. So people pretend they're something they're not because they make an assumption of what they think they know. Okay? He thought I was something completely different than what he expected because his friend liked a certain type of woman. He wasn't a fan of those type of women. So he just assumed that that's what I was. And I said, well, I don't understand. I said, me and Quinn weren't dating. And he goes, well, let's agree to disagree. I said, okay, whatever. Right? So, blah, blah, blah. We're all buddies. We're all best friends now. And me and Mike have been together for 20 years. Today, actually, January 16th, he bought me drums. And I said, my God. So a man that knows me and he surprises me with drums, jerk, because he says we're not supposed to buy presents anymore because he's useless to buy anything for. All he wants is money. So, of course, he leaves me and my hands are like empty. I'm like, well, I didn't leave you. So that's what you get. You get stuck with this. And you know what? We've done so good. We have manifested and created. We have had our hard times. Absolutely. There's a lot of things. Well, there's only one issue that me and him keep kind of getting back to. And the important parts, we get along. We enjoy hanging out together. We enjoy the decisions we've made together. He brings me back to earth and helps me stay more grounded. I make him live and not work so damn hard. There's a lot of things that we complement each other on that's opposite. We have a good time together, and that's what's important. And you have to find somebody that's willing to give you that 150%, just like you. I mean, I remember in the beginning, he was like, well, I have dyslexia. And he says, so I have to really, really figure out, what you're trying to say. And I laughed. I said, really? He says, well, yeah. He says, that's why I listen so attentively. I said, really? I said, you do realize you're never going to understand a woman. He's like, what do you mean? I said, it don't matter if you got dyslexia or you're a rocket scientist from whatever. It ain't going to matter. You're never going to understand a woman. And you need to understand that right now, that sometimes you're not going to understand people. He's like, oh. I said, so you can also consider that a gift. Because you think you have to understand people. That's actually a gift because you actually take the time to try. So anyways, we've been able to switch stuff back and forth and switch it around, and we've got a really good life. And he's a good person, and I think I'm okay, But yeah, you can have everything that you want. So manifest what you think you want, and then allow Spirit to show you your perfect partner. Allow Spirit to take the wheel because Spirit knows better. And this is why I say, well, if the Lord wills it, if the Lord wills it, everything will fall into place. If the Lord wills it. If the Lord wills it, if the Lord wills it. And sometimes people look at me, what do you mean? I said, well, he knows better than I do. He makes the decisions for me. I have decided that if I'm supposed to be a part of something, I will be off already. I do not have to book the time off when it comes to other events. And if I do have to book the time off, I'll know. Like this ship that I was supposed to book off, I knew that I needed to be a part of it. I know that I need to be a part of it. I had that feeling. Okay. So I just have my agreements with God, and I know when he wants me to do something, and you have to trust that you're worthy of respect. You're worthy of a good relationship. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of success. You are worthy to have your favorite vehicle. I love my truck. I love my truck. You are worthy to have a job that you enjoy. You are worthy to have a passion you enjoy. You are just worthy of so much. I hope this video did something for you. Again, this is part 2 to a part 1 of manifesting your partner. Manifest your life, because you're worth every second. If you have somebody that doesn't appreciate you, get the hell out and find somebody that does. And I'm not saying that there's not moments of, what's the matter with you? Don't you appreciate me? You both have to be willing to work at it. Me and Mike, because we do not have kids, we were unable to have kids. We actually choose to be together. Nothing's holding us together. Nothing. We could walk away from our house, sell our house, see ya. Me and Mike actually choose to be with each other. So we're very blessed in that way. Be happy with being alone. Be happy with being who you are. Be happy with whatever people are in your life. And sometimes, say it's a father's love or a mom's love or a grandma's love or a grandpa's love. If those people are gone for you, they don't have to be blood in order to get that kind of TLC or love. Mother Mary will give that to you in a heartbeat, in a second, spiritually. And physically, you can get that from anybody. I had so many adopted grandpas. Now, still, I have so many adopted grandmas and grandpas. So many. And I accept their love. I accept their gratitude. I accept the giggles and shits that I accept it. And you need to accept the love when God gives it to you and not slam it in the face. I know I've almost sabotaged my relationship with Mike because, I don't know, you're just not used to it. You're not used to getting everything that you've ever dreamt about. And it's weird when you do. Just say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I said it wrong. But it's the Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono is a very good healing tool too. So before I get sidetracked onto something else, and it looks like I'm fading out. Anyways, namaste. Spavo. Aho. And blessed be. May every dream that you've ever had come true. And know that you are worth a beautiful partner that is willing to sit and listen. Be that beautiful partner too. Don't always want to defend and talk. Listen. Listen and love unconditionally. Allow people to be exactly who they are, and life will change.